Welcome back to my channel. If you've not already watched the first part of this where I talk about the first things that I would do if I'm thinking about starting a handmade skincare business, go ahead and watch the first episode of this, I'll say, extended workshop. And now let's get into the second part. In the second part, we'll be talking about what we would do after we've completed the beginning back office setup. So the next thing that you want to do is build out your product, right? Because it is handmade, so you're creating your product. If you're wholesale and you're thinking about starting as well, some of these tips may help you. However, most of my tips are in detail for handmade skincare businesses or anyone who's probably doing private label. These will help as well. So let's begin. The first thing you want to do if you're building out your product is basically choose your entry product. Your entry product is one product, because with skincare business or any business at all it takes is one product to get your name in the consumer's mind. It's all it takes. One good product can build your business and brand to the next level. So you want to work on one product. You want to find your entry-level product, the one product that made you wanted to start a skincare business. Now, disclaimer, you might find this one product, you might start with this one product, but you might not level up with this one product. You might change along the way, or you might just change along the way, or you might just add other variations or just add other products along the way. That's perfectly fine. We're starting with one here to make it very simple for you to start, instead of the headache of having a million different products to create when starting a skincare business, especially when you're hand making it. Having to create so many products all at once can become very overwhelming. So it's important that we choose one entry-level product. If you have the brain capacity to work on, test, and create more than one product at once, then by all means do so. But if not, choose one. You're just entering this industry. Choose one entry-level product that you want and you're passionate about and that you want to try, create, test, and put on the market. Now that you've found this entry-level product, you're going to go ahead and test different variations of this entry-level product. So what do I mean by that? You're going to go and first of all get the ingredients, research. We're going to do that. We're going to research. Do not skip researching. You know, you found your entry-level project through research and through what you're passionate about. You find this product, do some research. I know we're very excited. We want to get it out there. I don't want you to half-ass the research, because guess what? You go ahead half-assing the research is looking up, I've spoken about this before, looking at someone else's product, looking at the ingredients, and then trying to recreate it. That will give you a headache, because 9 times out of 10, it will not be the exact same thing, and it will probably won't yield the same results because you don't know the percentage that that person is using. What you can do in your research is be inspired by other products. Not only by other products, by reading reputable blogs, not made up blogs. Not super DIY blogs. Well, some DIY blogs are really good, but some of them are DIY and they're not meant for resale, which is perfectly fine. Find reputable blogs, resources that can help you. If you're having trouble finding reputable blogs, think about your suppliers. Think about where you're getting your shea butter from. Think about where you're getting your oils from. A lot of those companies actually have blogs attached to them that will educate you about each product. They educate you about the history, the origin, the contraindications of some of these products, and the best practices and uses for these products, and a lot of precautions when using these products. Because it's a company that you trust, go on their blog and read. There's a lot of blog out there that you can go on and read about ingredients and gain knowledge. So I know it's probably like, oh my gosh, like I can do this, I've seen it everywhere. But you can get the best out of your product if you actually do some research before you create the ingredients. Right? So you can go ahead, do some research. You know already body butter's main ingredients is shea butter. But what people fail to understand is, based on what you're creating this body butter for, shea butter isn't the only ingredient from body butters. You might have, there's other butters out there that you'd like to try, and that's perfectly fine. So for basic, we can start with shea butter. You know that you're going to create a body butter. You want this body butter. What do you want this body butter to do? Why are you creating it? Are you just creating it for moisture, or are you creating it to combat dry skin, release certain skin issues such as eczema, super dry skin, anything like that? What do you want it to do? There is a big difference, because I think there is this disclaimer that once you create a body butter, it is going to do all these things. That is not the case. I'm pretty sure there are people out there that have purchased body butter and it does not help with their eczema. It does not help with super dry skin. All it does is moisturize them for the day, couple hours, and that's it. So you have to be very clear on what you want this body butter to do. Finding out what you want this body butter to do, or the product that you're creating, would essentially make the process of finding the ingredients so much easier. Why? Because now that you know you want this body butter, or whatever product that you're using for this, we're just going to say body butter. You want this body butter to maybe, let's say, relieve eczema. That's what we want it to do. So therefore, we're going to get ingredients that does that. We already know shea butter is very popular for this. Shea butter isn't the only butter. Cocoa butter also does this. But for basic, simple process, you'll say, okay, I'm going to start off with shea butter. Just do a regular shea butter mix. All right, good. Will shea butter alone help this? Some instances, yes, but we're selling a product, we want it sellable, and we also want to be able to whip it and get, the best out of the product. So what we're going to do next is think of oils that help with eczema, dry skin, etc. So we're going to go and we're going to do, quick Google search. Oils that help with eczema. Now, a lot of blogs are going to come up. Choose wisely. I've looked at Blamberberry for my soap ingredients, New Direction I've used for oils in my shea butter, like what to use. And when you Google, there are some other blogs that will come up with good quality information that you will find. Now, with the fact there's a lot of blogs there's a lot of people writing stuff, and there's a lot of information out there. Get the information, but the information that you're receiving isn't always the be all end all. You know why? Because you might see an oil that they say, oh, it's good for eczema, and when you try it doesn't work. So testing is important. But for the basis of this video, you go under it to shea butter, you see that some people use olive oil is good for eczema. Disclaimer, I see that in a lot of butters, but to me, olive oil is so oily and it feels very heavy on skin for some people's skin. That's why I've never used it in my products. You have avocado oil, which is really great for super dry skin because of its consistency, and it lasts long, but it absorbs into the skin properly. But olive oil is kind of a heavier oil in my opinion as well, but it lasts very long. You'll probably run into hemp seed oil. Really great oil to add into a body butter that you're trying to do for eczema, right? So now you have those. So now you have your butter that you want to add out of the way. You have your oil that you want to add based off of your research. So the next thing you want to find out, essential oils. Now there's a lot of misconceptions out there about essential oil, like the more you put in, the better it works. Essential oil is very potent. You have to be very careful with adding essential oil into your mixture. So the usage rate would be like a 1%, 1 to 2% for your body butters. This is subjective to the person and what you're looking for, but you can do it at that rate. You could look up best essential oils for an eczema body butter. So for me, I looked up when I started mine, there's a lot of oils that came up, the main ones: tea tree, lavender, and there's the next one that came up. I can't remember it right now, but a few of them that come up, those two come up a lot. Those weren't the only oils that you can put in body butters, and I realized that because even when I put it in my body butter, it didn't give me exact results that I wanted. So I did more research, and as I researched, I realized that okay, you have lavender, you have rosemary oil that you could put in there, tea tree, you have lemongrass that helps with it, and you have frankincense and carrot seed essential oil. Those two, yeah. And I've tried them all. Lemongrass have given me great results in my body butter, frankincense and carrot seed essential oil. So now you have that information. So let's go over that. You have your butter, your oil, your essential oils. Now you did your research, you have your oils. Now we're going to do them at a percentages and we're going to test it. 60% shea butter, 38% oil, and 2% essential oil blend. But what I will say, if you want to add fragrance, just add another percentage of fragrance and lessen the oil. However, usually a lot of people with eczema, they don't really want scented products, they rather it unscented. So I made my body butter was scented by the essential oils and the oils that were in it. So that's perfectly fine as well. So you don't have to force yourself to find a fragrance for it. So I think I went really deep into like creating your product, but I hope that helps where I'm coming from. So the point of that is to say, you're going to create the product, you're going to find your entry-level product, do your research, find the ingredients, you create your mixture, you research it, have your ingredients yet, create it, now test it. When I say test it, I mean test it on yourself and the people around you. Make sure you use your own stuff so you know what's going on, right? So test it on yourself, test it on the people around you, test it on strangers. I've seen people send samples to probably their followers, or some people don't have followers, so that's understandable, and try to have them test it. If you don't have access to other people other than yourself and maybe your family, then perfectly fine, test it on them. Now, you might not get the results what you want. So even with that, take that with a grain of salt, because you might have some people that are just being malicious, and you might have some people with very good criticism. They might give you something that you could work with. So go ahead, listen to them and see. But if you use it and you feel like it worked for you, so the person that came to you and say, hey, didn't do this, ask them their skin type, because maybe it working for you is based on the difference in skin type. So probably that's what caused the different results. So that's good as well. You've seen the results. Now that you're happy with the results, the next thing that you want to do is actually consider if you're going to make this like one body butter, or are you going to take this mixture, duplicate it, create four different forms of it with different fragrance, right? So it's important that when you're starting out with your product, you don't have too much. But if you have one entry-level product, which is a body butter, you can take that one body butter and create 3 different versions of it with 3 different fragrances. So now you have 4 things that you could sell, right? This is important because if you're able to say, hey, I have these as well, would you like to try them? Right? That can, you could do an upsell there. This is if you're the beginning, you're starting on a budget and you want to start small. So you can go ahead and add different fragrance to it to see if you like it. Another tip, if you're going to do fragrance, before you get the fragrance, when you're purchasing it, read the reviews. After you read the reviews, purchase small amounts of it. Do not purchase large bottles of these fragrance oils, because if you do and you get them and you don't like them, and probably people around you don't like them, now you have a wasted oil. So even though you read the reviews and you're like, okay, this is nice, purchase small bottles of it. Now you research your product, you tested it, you like it, you created 3 other versions of it. What next? So your next step is to decide on the size of the item that you'll sell. This is important because you want to know if you're going to have a mini, a medium, or a large, or you're going to have 1 of them, 2 of them, or all 3. My suggestion is to only have 2. Why I say 2 is because when you have 3 or other sizes, it becomes a lot, especially in the beginning. You're overwhelmed, you're spending more money. This is for the people that are starting on a budget. You're going to be spending more money on all these jars when you can legit have 2 sizes and keep it moving. I would suggest a large and a mini. The mini would be, for me, was my 2-ounce jar. That would be an entry-level product for the customer that is coming in and they want to try it out. They could get the 2-ounce, try it out, see if they like it. If they like it, come back. I wouldn't say do a 1 ounce, because what are you going to get from a 1 ounce? If you're sampling something and you purchase like a 1 ounce, for your body, right? What are you going to get from it? It's not going to be much, right? I'd say do a 2 ounce and a 8 ounce one. 8 or 6, those sizes, it's up to you. After you decided on the sizes that you'll have available, which is a 2 ounce and an 8 ounce. So for the sake of this video, 2 ounce and 8 ounce. Now the next thing is, okay, you have these jars. Well, you don't have these jars, but you know what sizes you want. What do I do next? What kind of jars are you going to purchase? So the jars that you're going to purchase, I personally believe it's up to your brand's identity and what you're looking for. So some people start with plastic jars. That's perfectly fine. Some people have black jars because it goes with the vibe and the identity of their brand. Some people have glass because glass gives this sophisticated, luxury, rich feeling, and it's also better for the environment, according to certain research. And some people are want to be very sustainable, so they probably use cardboard packaging, right? So this is something that you're going to have to take into consideration after you've done the few steps. Now, disclaimer, a lot of these steps that I'm telling you, they can be done simultaneously in a way. not all together, but you can do like 2 or 3 of them at the same time, not the same day, but during the same time period. Why is that? Is because if you're testing something, you're in your kitchen or wherever you're testing a product, you might be testing that product for like a 4-hour time period, and then you have another schedule where, okay, the next 2 hours I'm going to look up packaging, look at the packages I need, you know what I'm saying? Or the next day I'm going to work on packaging. So these are things that you could do one after the other, or you could do them simultaneously in the same time period, but doesn't have to be on the same day, which helps with time and helps keep you consistent and helps with the every piece by, and helps with the piece by piece, brick by brick method to get you to build that big wall that you're trying to build. One more thing, these videos are here for you for reference, so you don't have to do them right away. You can always come back to it. You can always come look back on it. It takes time. So I'm just providing this so you can have it to help you on your journey. So subscribe, like, share, comment if you want to help me, or check out my website. Also, subscribing will notify you when I post another episode of this video, which will be about packaging and shipping as well. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope this wasn't too long. Have a wonderful day. Also, just a disclaimer, I'm not a short form speaker or content creator. I'm kind of long form. I try to be short form sometime, but it is what it is. I'm just trying to give you information that you can use, not information that you're going to sit there like, I want you use it, I want you say, okay, I can do this. That is the point. And remember, brick by brick, and eventually you'll have a big wall. Just keep going step by step. Don't get discouraged and keep going.